I've been spending my last year and a half here at NRCA going around the country and talking to roofing contractors just like you. I wanted to find out what's on your mind and what are the most important things that NRCA should be working on. There's been a couple things that have kind of percolated to the top. It's clear to me that workforce has become the #1 issue for roofing contractors anywhere in the country. They simply cannot find enough workers for the amount of demand that they have. And they've wanted NRCA to engage in different strategy and some plans to help them address that issue. And the second thing they've talked to me about is advocacy. They feel that NRCA needs to be more active in Washington, D.C., and that the policymakers there just don't understand what their world is really like. And that's particularly true in the relationship of workforce and immigration. And so in the last year, we've been busy here at NRCA, and we've developed several different strategies to address the workforce issue. And I'd like to just take a moment and share them with you. The first one is centered around the idea of improving our image. Members don't feel like they're respected in their communities. They don't feel like they're treated as the professionals they are. And they know that that filters down to potential workers who might be interested in working in the roofing industry. And so they've challenged NRCA to make it its vision to improve the image of the industry and have our members recognized as the professionals they are. And we recognize that there's a consumer protection element to this, making sure that the workmanship that we provide our customers is the best in the world. And that leads me to where NRCA is really focusing its efforts. One is, first of all, to make sure that we've got a trained and qualified workforce, a workforce that actually knows what they're doing and is doing it at the highest levels possible. And then secondarily to that is to certify those workers, authenticate in essence that those workers actually have the training and possess the skills to be the best roofing workers in the world. And so NRCA is embarking on a new program called Pro Certification. And it gives an opportunity for a young worker to see an actual career path where they can stack certifications on top of each other. They can become certified in asphalt shingles or thermoplastic roofing or thermoset roofing or bituminous roofing or metal roofing, 19 different disciplines they can begin and seek out and apply for and then prove that they possess these skills to do this type of work. And as they do it, they can even earn master roofer status. This is something that electricians have been doing, plumbers have been doing, carpenters have been doing for decades. It's time for the roofing industry to begin to certify its workers. And as we do that, and as consumer protection goes up and the consumer experience gets better, families in this country will begin to look at roofing workers differently. And as they look at roofing workers differently, potential workers will see us differently. And they'll want to be part of what we're doing and where we're going, and they'll want to be part of that opportunity to have a real career in the construction industry, one that's easily defined and one that offers a path that they can clearly see. And on the advocacy front, they've asked us to get engaged in Washington, D.C. on issues like regulatory reform and immigration reform. And so last year we started our first ever roofing day in D.C., and that happened last March. We're going to have another one and build on the success of that event coming this April 3rd and 4th, and we want you to be a part of it. It's where we bring stakeholders from the entire roofing supply chain, raw material supply, manufacturing, distributing, contracting, and design. And we all decide together what issues are most important to us, and we converge on Capitol Hill. And we make the impression that's necessary, and we begin to put wins on the board. And so this year, we're going to be focusing for sure on immigration again, but I don't want to set aside the things that we're successful with last year. At our event last year, one of the things we wanted to really focus on with our members of Congress was getting technical education driven back down to our technical schools, but most importantly to our high schools. And there was legislation that was working its way through the Congress, but it got stalled up in the U.S. Senate. After Roofing Day 2018, the hold that was put on the Senate was removed. Senator Alexander from Tennessee moved it through the committee. It was passed through the U.S. Senate, passed through the U.S. House, and President Trump signed it into law last year. And this was a significant win for the construction industry and for the roofing industry. And it was because members like you were willing to show up in Washington, D.C. and advocate for yourselves. You put a human face on what we do and who we are, and more importantly, you put a professional face there. As we continue to build on that success going into 2019 and 2020 and beyond, we're going to be able to put wins on the board for the roofing industry and more specifically for your business and your family. We want you to be a part of it. There's some good things going on here at NRCA, and we're looking forward to your participation. Thanks for listening.